Marcus Aurelius once said that you have control over your thoughts, not external events. He meant that understanding this truth can give you strength. Have you ever felt frustrated because your mind is filled with noise? Or maybe you've struggled to make decisions, or you find yourself stuck in endless analysis. We've all been there, replaying conversations, worrying about what might happen, and getting lost in what-ifs. Today, we're going to address this problem directly with 10 practical Stoic techniques to overcome overthinking. If you want to stop this cycle and take back control of your thoughts, be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Embark on a journey with us to tackle overthinking using Stoic techniques, and be sure to subscribe, share, like, and watch the entire video without skipping any part for a comprehensive understanding of the strategies discussed. 1. Visualize your overthinking as an external force. Imagine your overthinking as an external force. It can creep up on you, like fog suddenly rolling in on a previously clear day. It often starts small, just one worry or idea, but then it grows rapidly, overwhelming you. This is a common struggle in today's fast-paced world, where information bombards us constantly, leaving our minds crowded with what-ifs, what next, and what could have been. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic philosopher, once said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." This brings us to our first technique, seeing overthinking as an external force. This doesn't mean viewing your thoughts as enemies, but rather understanding that they don't define you. They are intruders, disrupting your peace. Picture those intrusive thoughts as clouds passing over a mountain. You are that mountain, strong and unwavering, as the clouds drift by. How do you fend off these intruders? Stoicism teaches us to observe without engaging. Visualize placing those thoughts in a bubble and watching them float away. This exercise not only lightens their burden, but reinforces the idea that thoughts are fleeting. They can only disturb your peace if you cling to them and give them power. Practicing this visualization builds a mental reflex, helping you detach from those thoughts before they escalate into a storm. As you become better at distinguishing yourself from the barrage of overthinking, it becomes easier to see that you are more than just your thoughts. This distinction acts as a shield, akin to wearing earplugs in a noisy crowd. It's a conscious effort that strengthens with daily practice. When you catch yourself starting to overthink, pause and visualize the thought as noise, unneeded and separate from who you are. In doing so, you not only defend against overthinking, but also reclaim your mental peace, one step at a time. 2. Take control by refocusing your energy. Imagine finding yourself caught in a loop of worrying about what-ifs and worst-case scenarios, replaying the same concerns in your mind until you feel mentally drained. It's like having multiple tabs open in your head, each playing a loud video, and you can't seem to stop them. This mental juggling is typical in today's fast-paced world, where the pressure to keep up can lead to a constant cycle of overthinking. But just as a cluttered desk needs tidying up, so does a cluttered mind. Taking control means redirecting your mental energy, not just for peace of mind, but to silence the constant noise of potential futures, allowing you to appreciate the present. Seneca, another wise Stoic, expressed this beautifully when he said, "True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future." To regain control, start by grounding yourself in the present moment. Focus on a task, no matter how small, and put your energy into completing it. This shift in focus pulls you out of the whirlwind of future worries and brings you into the here and now. Engage in activities that demand your full attention, like organizing your space, taking a walk, or getting lost in a book. By aligning your thoughts with your actions, You're not just distracting yourself, you're taking charge of where your energy goes. Remember, Stoicism isn't about suppressing thoughts, but managing them. By choosing where to direct your mental energy, you're practicing a form of mental discipline. The goal isn't to eliminate overthinking entirely. That's unrealistic. Instead, it's about recognizing when your thoughts aren't serving you and having the tools to guide them elsewhere. It's like training a muscle. The more you practice refocusing, the stronger and more resilient your mind becomes. With deliberate action and presence, you can tame the overwhelming waves of overthinking one by one. 3. Embrace impermanence and practice letting go. Let's be real. Our minds often get stuck replaying past events or worrying about the future. This is where overthinking thrives, making our thoughts stick around longer than they should. It's a challenge that affects everyone, whether you're a student stressing over exams, a professional anxious about presentations, or just someone struggling to quiet their mind for sleep. In the midst of this mental marathon, we can find comfort in the words of Epictetus, who reminds us that fearing death stops us from truly living. But beyond the weight of that quote lies the concept of impermanence, which is at the heart of Stoicism. Impermanence teaches us that everything changes, including our persistent thoughts. When we overthink, we often hold on to our thoughts as if they'll never leave. Embracing impermanence means realizing that thoughts come and go. They're not forever. This understanding can be a guiding light when overthinking overwhelms us. Practically, embracing impermanence involves forming a habit of letting go. It's like decluttering your mind, consciously releasing thoughts that don't serve you. You might imagine them drifting away like leaves on a river or shifting like clouds in the sky. This visualization not only brings immediate relief, but also deepens your understanding that thoughts are fleeting. Incorporating this practice into your daily routine can transform your relationship with your thoughts. It's not about forcing them out, but allowing them to naturally depart. Letting go isn't giving up. It's an act of bravery. It means refusing to let unnecessary thoughts take up space in your mind for free. As you become more skilled at this, you'll notice a newfound mental clarity, a peacefulness that was always there, hidden beneath the noise of overthinking. Embracing impermanence isn't just a trick, it's a shift toward a more peaceful and present way of living. 4. Create a worry period. It's pretty normal to have worries hanging around in the back of our minds, like the constant hum of a refrigerator. It's always there, even if we don't always notice it. These worries can pop up at any time, whether we're trying to focus on work, hanging out with friends, or trying to get some sleep. It's like our minds are a stage, and these worries are the uninvited actors who just won't leave. But here's a wise nugget from the Stoic teacher Epictetus. If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. It might seem a bit off topic, but it's a bold reminder to prioritize our peace of mind over giving in to worry for fear of looking foolish or naive. Creating a worry period is a clever way to give these concerns their time in the spotlight, but only during an encore, not as the main show. You set aside a specific time each day, maybe 20 minutes in the afternoon, when you're allowed to focus entirely on your worries. During this designated time, you dive into your worries, examine them closely, understand where they come from, and maybe even write them down. What are you really worried about? How likely are these scenarios? What can you do about them? This focused session often reveals that many of our worries are like shadows, seemingly big but not much substance when you face them head-on. This process also teaches your mind that there's a time and place for worry, and it's not all day, every day. When the worry period ends, you move on. You've given your worries their time, and now it's time to put them aside. By compartmentalizing in this way, you can take back control of your day. The goal isn't to stop worrying completely, that's impossible. But by containing your worries, you lessen their impact on your life. This technique is like tidying up your mental space, putting thoughts where they belong, and enjoying the peace of an ordered mind. You'll likely find that worries lose their power when they're not allowed to roam free, and life becomes a bit lighter, a bit more enjoyable. 5. Break down overwhelming thoughts. When we're stuck in overthinking mode, it can feel like we're carrying a massive boulder on our shoulders. The size of our worries seems to match the weight of the world, and we feel trapped under the heavy cloud of our own thoughts. This isn't just a personal struggle, it's a common experience shared by many, especially in a world where there's pressure to excel in every aspect of life: work, relationships, personal growth, and social status. Marcus Aurelius, a wise philosopher, once said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This insightful quote forms the foundation of our 5th technique: breaking down overwhelming thoughts into actionable steps. When your mind is overwhelmed with a big worry or a complex problem, the key is to break it down into smaller, more manageable pieces. Instead of thinking about all the steps you need to take, focus on the very next one. Taking action on just one small step might seem insignificant, but it's a powerful way to combat overthinking. By concentrating on one action, you shift your energy from worrying to doing. It's like untangling a huge knot, one small tangle at a time. You're not ignoring the complexity of your concerns. You're tackling them purposefully and precisely. The beauty of this technique lies in its simplicity and effectiveness. Each small step you take builds momentum, and as you look back, you'll realize that the boulder of worry has transformed into a pile of pebbles. You've crossed over it, one step at a time. This method teaches patience, resilience, and trust in your ability to face challenges head-on. Suddenly, what once seemed insurmountable is now behind you, and your overthinking is replaced with a sense of accomplishment and clarity. 6. Shift your perspective to gratitude. Our minds have a way of leading us into a maze of overthinking, where we dwell on what we lack, what could go wrong, or what we haven't achieved yet. It's like being stuck in a never-ending loop that leaves us feeling drained and dissatisfied. Overthinking often stems from focusing on the negatives or the things we haven't accomplished, overshadowing the good that's already present in our lives. Seneca once said, "True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future." This wise saying encourages us to shift our perspective from scarcity to abundance, from overthinking to gratitude. It's about recognizing the value of the present moment and the many blessings we overlook when we're too busy worrying about what's next. Practicing gratitude pulls us out of the rut of overthinking and grounds us in the richness of the present moment. To make this shift, start by acknowledging 3 things you're grateful for each day. They don't have to be grand, they just need to be genuine. It could be as simple as enjoying a delicious cup of coffee, feeling the comfort of your favorite hoodie, or receiving a thoughtful message from a friend. This simple practice can redirect your mind away from overthinking and toward appreciating what you have right now. By anchoring yourself in gratitude, you not only quiet the noise of overthinking, but also enhance your daily experience. Gratitude highlights the positives in our lives and gradually transforms our inner dialogue from one of scarcity to one of abundance. Over time, this new perspective can change how you approach life's challenges, turning them into opportunities to recognize and appreciate the good things in your world. This isn't just about feeling better in the moment, it's about building a foundation of contentment that can sustain you through life's ups and downs. 7. Focus on effort, not outcome. Overthinking often happens when our minds get tangled up in worries about the future, what might happen, the what-ifs, and all the potential outcomes, especially the ones we fear. This forward projection can leave us feeling stuck in fear, constantly obsessing over what might go wrong instead of focusing on what we're actually doing. We live in a society that's all about the end result, where success is often measured by outcomes rather than the effort put in. This can make us hesitant to even start something if we're not sure of the outcome. But a Stoic saying by Epictetus gives us a clear direction. Don't explain your philosophy, embody it. Stoicism teaches us to concentrate on our efforts and intentions, rather than getting caught up in outcomes we can't control. This doesn't mean we shouldn't have goals or aim for big achievements. Instead, it means that the real value lies in the effort we put in, the integrity of our actions, and the virtues we uphold along the way. To put this into practice, whenever you catch yourself worrying about what might happen, shift your focus to the effort you're putting in. Ask yourself, are you giving your best? Are your intentions good? Are you staying true to your values? This approach is about being fully present in the process, doing the work, and understanding that your responsibility ends there. By concentrating on effort rather than outcome, we free ourselves from the chains of overthinking. It allows us to be in the moment, giving our all without being weighed down by worries about what might happen. It transforms our actions from mere steps toward an end goal into reflections of our character and dedication. With this change in focus, you'll discover that your journey isn't just a means to an end, it's a way of living with purpose. Each step becomes an accomplishment in itself. These final strategies open up new perspectives, giving you the strength to tap into hidden abilities, cultivate resilience, and navigate life's complexities with balance. 8. Practice voluntary discomfort. Our minds often drag us into a whirlpool of overthinking when we face potential discomfort or change. We endlessly replay scenarios in our heads, trying to predict every outcome and prepare for any possible discomfort. This mental rehearsal can be exhausting, trapping us in a comfort zone that feels more like a mental prison, hindering growth and letting overthinking take control. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The art of living is more like wrestling than dancing." This reflects the Stoic practice of confronting challenges head-on rather than avoiding them. By practicing voluntary discomfort, we can train our minds to handle uncertainty and reduce overthinking. It involves taking small, intentional actions that push us out of our comfort zones, teaching us resilience and adaptability. To integrate this into our modern lives, start with something small, like taking a cold shower, sleeping without a pillow, or walking instead of driving. Do something that disrupts your usual routine and sit with whatever feelings arise without judgment. This isn't about punishing yourself. It's about proving to yourself that discomfort isn't as frightening as your overthinking mind makes it out to be. Voluntary discomfort has a paradoxical effect. It increases comfort with the various aspects of life. By regularly stepping into discomfort, the unfamiliar becomes familiar and the mind learns to quiet down. It becomes less reactive to change and more focused on what can be controlled, your responses. This powerful shift in perspective not only reduces overthinking, but also builds a core of inner strength that remains steady amidst life's ups and downs. 9. Reflect on the transience of life. When we're stuck in the whirlwind of overthinking, it's often because we've zoomed in too closely on the tiny details of our lives, losing sight of the bigger picture. Our thoughts become tangled with, "What if this happens?" or "What if that doesn't work out?" making even the smallest issues seem overwhelming and consuming our mental energy. Seneca once wrote, "We are not given a short life, but we make it short, and we are not ill-supplied, but wasteful of it." This powerful reminder urges us to reflect on the fleeting nature of our existence. Every moment spent overthinking is a moment not fully lived, a slice of life not savored. Stoicism prompts us to question whether our worries will matter in the grand timeline of our lives. To combat overthinking, we should regularly take a step back and consider our lives as a whole. Recognize that many of the things consuming our thoughts are temporary and insignificant in the long run. When you feel overwhelmed by your thoughts, pause and remind yourself that life is short. Ask yourself if this moment of overthinking is truly worth the limited time you have. By contemplating the transient nature of life, we naturally prioritize our experiences and concerns. This isn't about becoming sad or indifferent. It's about cherishing the present and focusing on what truly matters. It's a potent remedy for overthinking because it aligns our attention with the present, enriches our appreciation for the now, and diminishes the weight of anxieties focused on the future. Let the fleeting nature of life inspire you to paint with the vibrant colors of presence and engaged living, rather than being a source of anxiety. 10. Seek wisdom from outside yourself. Sometimes our minds can feel like a labyrinth where every turn leads to more confusion and overthinking. We attempt to solve a puzzle, only to find that the pieces keep multiplying, leaving us feeling stuck. This is the essence of overthinking, a cycle that starts and ends within the confines of our own thoughts, often without a clear way out. Seneca, renowned for his wisdom, once said, "Consult your friend on everything, especially on those matters concerning yourself. His counsel may then be useful, where your own self-love might impair your judgment." These simple words hold a profound truth that can help us navigate the stormy seas of overthinking. Stoicism teaches us that seeking insight from outside ourselves can break the cycle of rumination. This could mean seeking the fresh perspective of a friend, the impartial advice of a mentor, or the timeless wisdom found in literature. In a modern context, look for people whose opinions you trust and respect, someone from your inner circle or a professional with relevant experience. Sharing your thoughts with them serves two purposes. It brings clarity as you articulate your thoughts, and it opens the door for objective feedback that you may have missed while overthinking. This technique not only offers practical solutions, but also reminds us of the invaluable strength of human connection. When we share our burdens, they often become lighter. This isn't a sign of weakness, but a recognition of the collective strength we possess as social beings. Let the wisdom of others be the guiding light that leads you out of the shadows of overthinking. With each conversation, you'll find the puzzle becoming easier to solve. Not because the problems are any less complex, but because you're no longer trying to tackle them alone. Which of these methods resonated with you? Share your reflections in the comments. Today's insights are but stepping stones on our shared path of intellectual growth. If you value the pursuit of wisdom, please subscribe and give the video a thumbs up. Together, let's persist on this path, constantly seeking the wisdom that the Stoic masters have set before us.